नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। आई एम JV'n Dr. UPESH LIKHAR, Assistant Professor, Department of Kriya Shari, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. Today we will discuss the next part of salivary glands. In previous session, we studied salivary glands and properties of saliva. Now, functions of saliva. First function is preparation of food for swallowing. When food is taken into the mouth, it is moistened and dissolved by saliva. The mucous membrane of mouth is also moistened by saliva. It facilitates chewing. By the movement of tongue, the moistened and masticated food is rolled into a bolus. Mucin of saliva lubricates the bolus and facilitates swallowing. Second function is appreciation of taste. Taste is a chemical sensation. By its solvent action, saliva dissolves the solid food substances so that the dissolved substances can stimulate the taste buds. The stimulated taste buds recognize the taste. Next function is digestion. Saliva has three digestive enzymes, namely salivary amylase, maltase, and lingual lipase. Salivary amylase converts starch into maltose. Maltase converts maltose into glucose, whereas lingual lipase converts triglycerides of milk fat into fatty acids and diacylglycerol. Next is cleansing and protective functions. Due to the constant secretion of saliva, the mouth and teeth are rinsed and kept free of food debris, shed epithelial cells, and foreign particles. In this way, saliva prevents bacterial growth by removing materials which may serve as culture media for the bacterial growth. Enzyme lysozyme of saliva kills some bacteria such as Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, and Brucella. Proline-rich proteins present in saliva possess antimicrobial properties and neutralize the toxic substances such as tannins. Tannins are present in many food substances including fruits. Lactoferrin of saliva also has antimicrobial property. Proline-rich proteins and lactoferrin protect the teeth by stimulating enamel formation. Immunoglobulin IgA in saliva also has antibacterial and antiviral actions. Mucin present in the saliva protects the mouth by lubricating the mucous membrane of mouth. By moistening and lubricating soft parts of mouth and lips, saliva helps in speech. If the mouth becomes dry, articulation and pronunciation becomes difficult. Next is excretory function. Saliva excretes substances like mercury, potassium iodide, lead, and thiocyanate. It also excretes some viruses such as those causing rabies and mumps. In some pathological conditions, saliva excretes certain substances which are not found in saliva under normal condition. Example is glucose in diabetes mellitus. In certain conditions, some of the normal constituents of saliva are excreted in large quantities. For example, excess urea is excreted in saliva during nephritis and excess calcium is excreted during hyperparathyroidism. Next is regulation of body temperature. In dogs and cattle, excessive dripping of saliva during panting helps in the loss of heat and regulation of body temperature. However, in human beings, saliva does not play any role in this function. Next function is regulation of water balance. When the body water content decreases, salivary secretion also decreases. This causes dryness of the mouth and induces thirst. When water is taken, it quenches the thirst and restores the body water content. Now, applied physiology. First, hyposalivation. Reduction in the secretion of saliva is called hyposalivation. It is of two types: temporary hyposalivation and permanent hyposalivation. Temporary hyposalivation occurs in emotional conditions like fear, fever, and dehydration. Permanent hyposalivation occurs in congenital absence or hypoplasia of salivary glands, Bell's palsy, and obstruction of salivary duct. Next is hypersalivation. Excess secretion of saliva is known as hypersalivation. Physiological condition when hypersalivation occurs is pregnancy. Hypersalivation in pathological condition is called ptylism, siluria, silism, and silosis. In addition to hyposalivation and hypersalivation, salivary secretion is affected by other disorders which include xerostomia, drooling, cauda tympani syndrome, paralytic secretion of saliva, augmented secretion of saliva, mumps, and Sjogren syndrome. So here we end the second part of salivary gland, in which we studied functions of saliva and applied physiology of salivary gland, hyposecretion and hypersecretion. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0 Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. Hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.